Hey everybody, it's Paul Tron again. Today we're going to be continuing on with object-oriented programming, in particular encapsulation. Encapsulation is one of the four pillars to object-oriented programming, and people call them the four pillars to object-oriented programming because they are the main concepts in object-oriented programming. And those are abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. We'll cover the other three in a future video, and we'll just cover encapsulation in this video. So the four access modifiers, you don't know what an access modifier probably is yet, we'll explain in a second, but those are public, private, protected, and internal. Public just means that everything can access it. It's not really hiding anything. Private, it means that only stuff within the class itself can access the private stuff that's declared as private. Protected, it means that the child classes can access the variables. We haven't talked about inheritance yet, so really that probably didn't make any sense to you, but we'll come back to that in another video after we explain inheritance. Internal, kind of similar. It's really similar to public, but you can only access that object within the current assembly. And again, that probably doesn't mean much to you. So really, let's focus on public and private. If you know public and private, when someone says encapsulation, you're probably in pretty good shape. So let's get started. File, new project, just like usual. A new Windows Forms application. And right off the bat, I'm just going to grab a text box for our output. Might not even need it, but let's just make it. It's already called text box 1. We'll just use that. I'm just going to press F7 to get to the code behind, and actually I'll hold Shift F7 to go back, and I just want to use the form load. So just like in previous videos, if you double click up here, it will generate this code for you, and this will run when the form loads. So form 1 and loads, this code will run. Alright, so I want to add a class, and I'm just going to call the class, let's call it my class for now. And you can see that it doesn't have an access modifier on this class. So usually, you've probably seen me in the previous videos, I just quickly change that to public. Just by default, it's internal. So what that means is it's pretty much public for anything within this guy here, within this project, so the Windows Forms application project. So yeah, let's just make it public just to really explicitly say it. And that should be enough for now, so I'll just save it, come back over to my form, and you can see when I just type my class, let's declare a variable my class, my class 1. You can see it turned green here. That just means that it was able to find my class, which is over here, because it's public. Let's make it private just for this example. Come back over here and you can see it changes, and even if I try to run this right now, it's gonna not allow it to run. Whereas if I try to run it with a public class, should have no problem with running that. So let's keep going with this. If I come back over to my class and let's declare a public string, we'll call it some string. So this is just a property of my class now. So some string is a property of my class, and I should be able to access it. First, I have to instantiate my class 1, and I'm just gonna say new my class. I talked about this a little bit in a previous video. So now I should be able to say my class 1 dot, and IntelliSense is not showing up. So to force it, I'll just hold Control and space, and as you can see, SumString is in the list. So it had no problem with seeing SumString. Let's change it now. Let's make this private and do the same thing. There is no SumString popping up, so I can't even see it. Alright, so let's leave that as public for now. And SumString, I can change it. I can say is, hello world, and it has no problem with doing that. Alright, if we come back to this now and make this private, and I have a public, my class. This is just the constructor for my class. So what that means is when I declared this, it will call into this code, and I can do something with it. Private variables, I just like to make them lowercase, just so that I know that they're private. Obviously, it's not going to work now because I made it private. But when I create this new class, it should bring me into this code and run this code where I can access SumString. So in here I can say SumString is assigned to hello world, and when I run this code, let's debug it just so I can show you. You can see my class, it's declaring my class as a new class, and I'll just step into that. You can see it called into what's known as the constructor for that class, and it has no problem with assigning the private variable SumString to hello world because they are in the same class. I think that'll probably do it for today. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please write them down below. And again, in future tutorials, I will talk about abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Thanks.